So you're thinking about revenue operations, but don't really know what that journey looks like. What are the specific steps that we will take in order to kind of get those step-by-step improvements? That's the whole purpose of this presentation, and I really hope you'll enjoy it. Thank you. This is a very quick overview of the things that we'll be going through on a RevOps journey together. One, we'll build a roadmap. Two, we'll audit the current processes. Three, we'll set up the metrics that you want to track. And then we execute based on the roadmap and the metrics that we track together. In this video and the next slides, I will tell you a bit more about all of these specific things, but this is kind of high level on what you can expect what a revenue operations journey will look like. Thank you. Starting the roadmap session, this is sort of the first thing that we'll do. It's normally like a 1 to 2 hour session where we just sit down and we just kind of go through all of your, let's say, challenges, everything you experience, and especially the things you would like to improve. We really put this all together, and I might also come up with some of my own suggestions based on my experience. And we really go through all this, write it all down, put some more specific details to it so that we know later on what exactly is the, let's say, problem or opportunity. Once we kind of do that, we will do a rough prioritization, and I'm just doing, let's say, a easy Kanban roadmap, and I will just go through the now, next, later kind of roadmap, and we will then like kind of quickly figure out like what do we tackle first, what is the most urgent, what has the highest impact. Few things about the roadmap, just like where we have the roadmap, it really doesn't matter too much. Normally, I recommend that it should be a place where in a tool that you are already using. This could be something like Notion, Confluence, but really most important is a place where you're already working, something you're working with internally. If you don't have something like that, we can just start up a free Trello board. It's easy to do, and it's something I can help with. Maintaining the roadmap moving forwards, it's something that we will be doing together, of course, but I'll be all in all responsible for keeping the roadmap up to date. And we will also be making sure that we really put the details down on the specific things that we execute, so you can always use that as a documentation. I really hope that clarifies. Thank you. One of the first thing that normally comes up after having built a roadmap is that we will normally do an audit of your current CRM setup, whether that be in HubSpot or Salesforce. I think this audit is a good thing to do. You kind of get a fresh pair of eyes to kind of see how you are doing things. And we will kind of also use this to get some new ideas for things that we can improve. But more importantly, we can also see if there's any immediate gaps that just can kind of like, say, be revenue leakage or something that's not a great for the customer, something that will cause a lot of friction for the internal processes. So really trying to capture those things straight away and make sure they get addressed as fast as possible. So really, I recommend often really just doing this audit. It's normally not a huge amount of time it takes. Something can be done in like 1 2 hours, depending on, of course, how big of the company you have. But really something that's a very solid thing to do first to really make sure that everything is up and running and we have a great start to when you get started with the revenue operations. Another thing we'll do is setting up the metrics that we want to track and use as part of, say, how do we find new initiatives. You might already have some metrics that you want to track or already are tracking, and that's completely fine. I don't really think there's a right and wrong answer when it comes to these things. However, some of my favorite metrics are, for instance, the sales velocity numbers. What do I mean by sales velocity? This is meaning the amount of created deals and amount of deals you create on a current month. This is the average deal size, average deal length, and we also look at the number of closed won deals and the number of closed won amount. These 6 metrics are really powerful because they can quickly tell a story, especially if you get to track it over time. So let's say, for instance, from 1 month to another, there's a huge increase or a huge drop. And we think about why was this drop there? Why was this increase here? Can we replicate it or can we do something to fix the specific things? This sounds very sales oriented, which it is, but the sales velocity also tells a marketing story. Let's say we know that we get a lot of deals from a specific campaign or like from website traffic, and we can just see that the number has dropped. And did we do something that changed on our marketing side that might affect how the number of deals that we have were created? So I like to really look at the sales velocities for those reasons. Another things, of course, is that we want to look at conversion rates. So your leads, how they come in, how do they convert into opportunities? How do your opportunities or deals, how do they convert down in specific stages you have? Where can we figure out where the conversions are weak and how can we improve it? So I really like to set up those metrics, and I really say important thing with this that we really agree on those metrics, and we almost like sign an agreement that this is the metrics we'll be looking at moving forward, and we should look at those to kind of say when we want to improve something or change something, does it align with these specific metrics? If it's something like that just comes up, there's something we want to do, sure, we can take a look at it, but maybe it won't improve those metrics that we already agreed upon. So maybe it's something we should either park and do it when at another time, or we should kind of think about maybe we shouldn't do it at all if it doesn't really have any big impact. I really hope this clarifies, but of course, happy to tell you more if you find this interesting. Thank you. Now that we have the roadmap, we've done the audit, and we also have all the metrics in place, it's really just time to execute. We have really all the things we want to do, and we'll start ticking those off the roadmap. And of course, as we go along, we'll iterate and kind of align the roadmap based on current priorities. But having these three things set up, it really sets a solid foundation for our us working together, and really will help you get the most benefit out of your revenue operations, and really again get those step-by-step improvements that we will compound revenue over time. I really hope this was clarifying enough. There will be a few more slides with a few more information, but this is kind of the end of like what can you expect in terms of go through. Of course, this is a rough framework that I've seen working well. There could be, let's say, circumstances that us we might want to do something else. Happy to discuss those things, and we can kind of take it from there. Thank you very much. So you went through this, and you might be asking yourself, why do I need to go through this journey? It might sound great, but what are the benefits for me and my company? There's a lot of things to go into here, but this is some of the key things I've seen and based on my experience. First of all, your decisions will be more based on data, especially like in revenue operations or it's like in any kind of operations. It can often be, let's say, very firefighting, like something happened and you kind of just go and you really just start like to go through the motion, and you become very reactive to what comes at you, and you're not really being proactive in the things that you improve, and you really don't like know what you base this on. So this is like one thing that you can really kind of use the data to kind of manage all that. You will also get the benefits of reducing the frictions for customers to buy from you. So revenue operations is a lot about removing friction from the buying process or adding accelerators so that your customers will buy from you faster. This can definitely help with that. We're kind of like seeing the data, figuring out like where is the bottlenecks and where are our customers struggling, and then you kind of help setting up a better process for your customers to buy from you. You'll have a plan and you'll have a roadmap for all the initiatives you want to run. There's just something to see the way I see it from my client is that they have a roadmap that everything they know what's going on, all the operations and processes are in one place. They can see what's happening. It's very comforting for them to kind of know that there's a really solid plan in place. And there's a reason why we're doing things. And again, not just being reactive to that. Of course, it's also getting the most out of your CRM investment, especially if you're using HubSpot. It can be like a lot of features you may not be aware about. Might be good to get that second pair of eyes and really try to see if there's anything else you could be doing, and really like see if that could help your process. Another thing as well is removing strain from your internal employees. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you probably, if you don't have a full time or someone dedicated to operations or revenue operations, you most likely have a sales manager, someone else, someone in marketing. They might be the one who's owning this, but it's not their expertise, and they probably also have a main responsibility of the job. And kind of jumping to this will take a lot of time from them, and they will also not be very focused or prioritize this kind of work. So you can really kind of have the people who are good at what they do focus that on more, and have someone like a consultant to really help you drive that internal, let's say, revenue operations without having to hire a full time. You can kind of do this as a fractional kind of thing and have someone who's done this before. I really hope these benefits really resonates to you. Maybe there's something else you've experienced. I'll be happy to chat about it. Let me know. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video and this whole presentation. I really hope it gave you a good idea of what a revenue operations journey with me would look like. If this is something you are interested in, feel free to connect with me. You can see here on the slide, there is my email, there's my website, and there's also my LinkedIn. So feel free to connect with me there, and we can set up a call to discuss further if there's anything I could help you with. I have almost a decade of experience in sales and RevOps, and I really want to help companies to avoid these mistakes I've done and seen in my career. I really think for revenue operations, especially for smaller companies where I'm focused, if they get on to, let's say, get a solid process in place early on, it can really save them a lot of headaches later down the line. And they can also really get that growth early on by having like these, let's say, great processes that will kind of help them to be more scalable. I love talking about this. If you want to get in touch with me and just like talk about revenue operations or see if there's something you could be doing different in your company, I really would love to chat. So feel free to connect with me on the things you see here, and looking forward. Thank you.